Hello everyone, I'm Jix of course, and this is Manga Goblin, and welcome once again to the basement, and this is another manga review, manhwa review, called Solo Leveling, so let's get started. Solo Leveling, or Na Honjaman Level Yob, or I Level Alone, literally translated, is a story based on the light novel of the same name, so Solo Leveling. It's illustrated by So-Ryeong and Jang Sung-Rak, serialized by the company Kako in Kako Page on their online platform in July 2016, but since November 2016 by DNC Media in their online platform. There are many isekais on the market at the moment, and there have been for many years. For a story to stand out, it must do something new, something interesting, or something funny. Solo Leveling does not do any of these, unfortunately. It's the story of the titular hero, Jung Sin-woo. There currently are 145 chapters. Where to start? There are many problems with Solo Leveling, many problems. But let's look at some good sides. What little there are. It's in colour, which is interesting for someone who majority reads black and white manga. So colour is always interesting to see, especially for someone specialising in that. Now this was a request by one of my followers on Twitter, so this is for you. What does Solo Leveling do good? Well, very little, unfortunately. The character design changes so fundamentally in the first 20-ish chapters that you don't recognise the hero. In fact, other people point this out multiple times, so it is at least self-aware of the character's vastly drastic changing appearance. Even his own sister looks more like an office lady than an actual teenager. His drive to earn money for his sister's education and his mother's health bills is rather a backseat, at least in the first few arcs. Okay, let's look at the one-shot, or Chapter 0. Chapter 0 does more with the plot in one single chapter in a few panels than it takes more than 11 to 12 to do otherwise. Now I understand this, it's just a teaser chapter just to get you interested, but that was more interesting. It's far too quick with its expansion on characters' personalities and interaction with other characters, yet it drags fighting scenes out for chapters and chapters and chapters. The monsters are generic. The spider is just a big spider. The boss monster in the first arc is literally a male version of the Statue of Liberty with a crazy grin. There are giant snakes, giant cat creatures and monkeys and shadow demons. While they are interesting, are nothing new. It doesn't do anything in order to grip you or maintain any interest. The character himself changes so much that you don't know what's going on. The people around him, okay, maybe some of them would be interesting if they'd be little more than stereotypes, such as the swordsman, who's also a wizard, and when he loses his arm in the beginning, he laments that the fact he's lost it, not the fact that he still couldn't be a wizard. Solo Leveling also mashes parts of RPGs, TTRPGs, games like MMOs, all together in a single setting, and it doesn't work. That's its major weakness. Perhaps it could be its major strength as the series continues, but for so far, no, that's what could be said. The character originally was interesting. I even sympathised with him a little. Yes, he was E-rank healer, he was the worst and the weakest in the world, but at least he had a personality. Now he's just some sort of weird, crazed, possible puppet from the system. And while I have not read the light novel, I understand that there's a whole monarch and god arc later on. It's just adding complexity on complexity, and other isekais do this as well. The monsters have to be bigger, meaner and stronger for the protagonist to actually fight at all. In the end of one arc, when he's still in hospital, he throws a broken sword and kills a monster that takes a team to barely hold up. I don't normally read manhwas because of the drama effect, though the good thing that can be said for this is there's not one here, at least not yet. The whole NTR thing is overblown in manhwas and webtoons, but at last this does not seem to suffer from it, so that's the only positive remark and conclusion that I can give. A score? Well, I know there are a lot of fans of Solo Leveling, especially the webtoon, the light novel and the possible series. But unless the light novel or the series does something drastically different to the webtoon, I could not recommend. So, in conclusion, and while I normally break down characters, much more than this in my reviews, I can't because he changes so much. And the people around him are simply more wall dressing. Even the brother of someone he kills in one arc is simply just a stereotypical, oh you killed my brother, I must have revenge type person. Anyway, a score, maybe 1.5 at most. Okay, so Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you had a nice time. I know there are lots of fans of this. If you enjoyed it, great. Personally, I didn't. Thank you everyone, and bye bye.